If you're in there, Father, I'm coming.
Ground beneath him trembled. The silver map in his hand exploded with light, so bright that his black horse reared violently beside him. The symbols were moving, not glowing, moving. They twisted and rearranged themselves across the silver surface like living creatures. Then every symbol pointed in the same direction, toward the forbidden forest. Isaac tightened his grip on the reins. "No," he whispered. The horse snorted nervously. The trees ahead stood motionless despite the strong winds behind him. Not a single branch moved, not a single leaf shook. The forest was waiting. Isaac swallowed hard. His father's crown was still lying on the palace floor. His father's throne still sat empty, and somewhere beyond those trees was the only clue he had. He looked back toward the distant Kingdom of Benin. The city looked peaceful from here. Too peaceful. The words from the wooden box echoed in his mind. Trust no one inside the palace. Isaac mounted the horse. Then I suppose I start with trusting myself. He rode forward. The moment the horse crossed the tree line, everything changed. The sound disappeared. No birds, no insects, no wind. Only silence. The horse slowed immediately. Its muscles tightened beneath him. "It's all right," Isaac whispered while stroking its neck. The silver map grew warmer, then hotter. Isaac looked down. The symbols had changed again. He stopped. The path behind him was gone. Completely gone. Only endless trees remained. What is this place? His voice vanished into the fog. Then came the whisper. Isaac. His heart stopped. That voice. He knew that voice. Father? Nothing. Then again. Isaac. He jumped from the horse. Father! The voice came from deeper inside the forest. He ran. Branches tore against his cloak. Roots nearly threw him to the ground. The voice kept moving, always ahead, always just out of reach. Father! Suddenly, he burst into an open clearing. Empty. No king, no footprints, nothing. Then the mist moved. Not drifted, moved, slowly parting like curtains opening before a stage. Isaac froze. Stone stairs emerged from the fog, hundreds of them. At the top stood a temple. Impossible. Massive pillars stretched into darkness. Ancient statues watched from both sides. Vines covered walls older than history itself. The map stopped glowing. Isaac stared upward. This shouldn't exist. A voice answered behind him. No. Isaac spun instantly and grabbed his sword. An old man stood holding a lantern. How do you know me? The old man smiled sadly. A man who has waited a very long time. Isaac stepped back. How do you know me? The old man raised the lantern. Because your father asked me to wait for you. Isaac's expression hardened instantly. Where is he? The old man's eyes lowered. That question is why you're here. Isaac tightened his grip on the sword. If you've harmed him, I did not take your father. Then who did? The old man looked toward the temple entrance. The same thing that took the kings before him. Isaac blinked. The kings before him? The lantern flickered. Come inside, Prince Isaac. Isaac didn't move. The old man sighed. You can walk away now and never learn what happened to your father. He paused. Or you can step inside and learn why your kingdom has been living a lie for centuries. Isaac looked at the temple, then at the map, then back at the old man. Finally he spoke. My name is Isaac. The old man smiled softly. I know. If you're lying to me, I know. Isaac took a deep breath, then climbed the first step. and somewhere in the darkness above them, something opened its eyes. The temple doors closed behind Prince Isaac with a sound like thunder. He turned immediately. No handles, no hinges, no way back. The old man lifted his lantern. "My name is Elias." Isaac said nothing. The chamber stretched farther than the lantern light could reach. Ancient pillars disappeared into darkness overhead. Dust floated through beams of golden light. Then Isaac saw the walls. Paintings, hundreds of them. His footsteps slowed. Every painting showed the same thing. Kings disappearing into light, crowns falling to the floor, scepters abandoned, empty thrones. Isaac stared in disbelief. "No!" He moved to the next painting, then the next, then another. Some kings were African, some were white, different centuries, different eras. The same fate. His breathing quickened. "My father wasn't the first." Elias lowered his eyes. "No." Isaac turned sharply. "How many?" Elias remained silent. "How many kings disappeared?" The final old man finally answered. "More than the kingdom remembers." Isaac stepped backward. "That's impossible." The kingdom was built to believe it was impossible. Isaac looked back at the paintings. Who would hide this? Elias met his eyes. The people who benefit from the lie. Before Isaac could answer, he noticed a portrait hanging alone. Unlike the others, it looked new, fresh. He walked toward it slowly. His breath caught. King Adric stared back at him, wearing the same robes he vanished in, standing inside this very temple. The paint still looked wet. Isaac reached toward it with shaking fingers. He was here. Yes. Recently? Yes. Isaac turned immediately. Then where is he? Elias hesitated. Somewhere he believes he must remain. Isaac's voice rose. Remain? He left to protect the kingdom. By disappearing? By learning the truth. Isaac slammed his fist against the wall. Then tell me the truth. Silence filled the chamber. Then Elias spoke quietly. Your father discovered the oldest lie in Benin. Isaac stared at him. What lie? Elias looked toward the darkness. That kings rule kingdoms. Footsteps interrupted them. Fast footsteps, dozens of them. Isaac grabbed his sword. The temple doors exploded open. Torchlight flooded the chamber. Royal guards poured inside. Black and white soldiers spread through the room in formation. At their center stood Commander Lucien. Isaac lowered the blade slightly. Lucien. The commander removed his helmet. His expression wasn't relief. It was fear. My prince, what are you doing here? We came to bring you home. Isaac frowned. How did you find me? Lucien hesitated. The map. Isaac's eyes narrowed. Only I had the map. Lucien said nothing. The room suddenly felt colder. Isaac remembered the message. Trust no one inside the palace. Lucien stepped closer. Your disappearance has caused panic. I didn't disappear. The kingdom doesn't know that. Isaac glanced toward Elias. Lucien followed his gaze immediately. His hand moved toward his sword. You need to stay away from him. Isaac stepped between them. You know him? Lucien nodded once. Unfortunately. Elias laughed softly. Still angry after all these years? Lucien ignored him. He's dangerous. Elias smiled. And I think he's the dangerous one. Isaac looked between them. What is happening? Neither man answered. Finally, Lucien spoke. Your kingdom is falling apart. Isaac listened. The council is fighting. The nobles are preparing for war. Rumors are spreading faster than we can stop them. He paused. They need their king. Isaac lowered his eyes. My father is their king. Lucien nodded. Exactly. Elias stepped into the lantern light. And if bringing him back destroys everything he sacrificed to protect. Isaac looked up immediately. What does that mean? Elias pointed toward the floor. The silver map suddenly floated from Isaac's hand. Light burst across the chamber. The ground shook violently. Ancient symbols raced across the stone. Then the floor split apart. Isaac stepped backward. Below them stretched an entire city, an impossible city. Crystal towers rose from darkness, bridges crossed glowing rivers, waterfalls poured from the cavern walls. Thousands of lights illuminated the underground world. Isaac couldn't speak. Lucien couldn't speak. Even Elias looked humbled by the sight. "The city below," Elias whispered. "What is this place?" Isaac asked. "The reason kings disappear." Movement caught his attention. Far away, standing on a crystal balcony overlooking the city, stood a familiar figure. Isaac's heart stopped. His father, King Adric, alive! "Father!" He took a step forward.
Lucien grabbed his arm. "Wait!" Isaac pulled free. "He's alive!" He started running toward the bridge leading into the city. Then King Adric turned. Isaac froze. That wasn't relief on his father's face. It wasn't happiness. It wasn't joy. It was fear. Real fear. As if seeing Isaac there was the worst thing that could have happened. "Father?" The king shook his head slowly. "No." Isaac couldn't understand. King Adric raised a trembling hand. "Isaac, you shouldn't be here." Isaac stared at him. "I came to bring you home." The king closed his eyes. "There may not be a home to return to." Lucien stepped forward. "Your Majesty, the kingdom needs you." King Adric looked toward the city below. "The kingdom needs protection more than it needs a king." Isaac moved closer. "Protection from what?" The king didn't answer. Instead, he looked behind him. Isaac followed his gaze. Someone was standing in the shadows, watching, waiting. A silhouette, human, still, dangerous. Isaac felt cold. "Who is that?" King Adric's expression changed instantly. "Run!" Isaac blinked. "What?" "Run!" The lights across the underground city suddenly flickered. The bridge beneath their feet shook violently. The shadow moved. Just one step. That was enough. The entire city reacted. Sirens echoed through the cavern. Ancient bells rang in the darkness. Lucien drew his sword. Elias raised the lantern. King Adric looked directly at his son. "If you want answers," his voice trembled, "you must survive long enough to hear them." The screen fades to black. If you've made it this far, you're officially part of the search for the missing king. Comment below with your theory. Can Isaac trust Elias, Lucien, both of them, or neither of them? And if you want to discover what waits in the shadows of the city below, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and join us for episode 3. Because the real story has only just begun.